I can't keep. All right. I hope I don't knock this shit down. Get y'all drinks. How you doing? How you doing? Get y'all drinks. I'm telling y'all right now. Get y'all drinks. Get y'all drinks ready. It's about to go down. Oh, let me hold on. Hey y'all, hey. It's about to go. Hi, psychotic love. Hi, boo. No, y'all can't hear me, so I might have to turn this. Okay. Can you hear me now? Can y'all hear me now? Destiny, can you do me a big favor? Can you bring me some 3 cubes of ice? Hi, Boldest Riders. How are you? I still ain't get an invite to your clubhouse. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Hi, Squibbers Long Island Social Club. What up, y'all? Get y'all drinks. Get y'all drinks. Y'all got y'all drinks? I'm getting ready to talk about some stuff that you may be able to relate to. So we're talking about relationships and how our childhood affected relationships, friendships, and all this other stuff. But more so, hold on. Oh, I have to wait till the backyard is in order. Okay, no problem. All right. Hey!
Yay!
I'm telling them to get their drinks.
Get your drinks. I might have. I'm gonna need a refresher in a minute.
Get your drinks. I never ever drink Jameson, so I'm doing this tonight.
Oh damn!
I don't have to work tomorrow.
Okay.
So hey, welcome to Sugar Cypher. This is long overdue. We've been trying to do this for the longest.
Yeah.
The longest.
Yeah.
But
finally,
introduce yourself. Introduce yourself.
First, let me see. Let me check and make sure. Somebody was asking me how they could get on. You know,
they have to follow.
It's not safe yet. You better know it. Goddamn, like fuck all that election talk shit. I'm not about that right now. Hold on. Let me see if I could get on and see if you can see from my page too, so you can get on. So they can get.
What's happening now is we're joined together, so your followers can see that you're on.
Okay. I see.
So just tell them
one. They should see, right?
Yeah, they will.
All right. Okay.
Yes, they will. So introduce yourself.
Okay. I've been drinking. No. I'm not gonna act. I'm gonna get serious when I need to get serious. I'm gonna put. I'm trying. We didn't do this pre-production. We should have. I need to set up my phone some kind of way. Anyway, for those of you who don't know me, I'm your girl Ike. My name is Ikesha. I grew up in South Jamaica, Queens. I'm a 40 Projects girl. South Side. We outside. Yes. I'm also your favorite lawyer. I've been an attorney for 20 years. I'm also a college professor. I'm bringing all of that to bear tonight on tonight's conversation. Listen, come with with all of your experiences. Come with your questions, because we're gonna get serious. We're gonna have some heavy shit we're talking about tonight. Thank you, thank you, Patricia. I appreciate you. And we're gonna talk about something other than the law, which is I don't get to do that often. I don't get to do that often, and it's really nice. It's really nice to be able to do that. So I'm looking forward to it. Sugar, our history, we go back way.
Yes, we do.
Back.
Yes, we do.
You want to fill the people in on
I'll tell my part. I'll tell my part. I like the way
okay.
you tell your part. But I met you in Grover Cleveland High School in
GC,
Queens,
stand
Queens
up.
Village. In Grover Cleveland High School, and I never forget. Now you have to continue because I remember just coming over to you, and now you pick up and tell the other.
So Cleveland, was another thing for me. Okay, I was a big girl in Cleveland. Like, all right, for the past 10 years, I've been a size 4. But before that, I was a whole ass size 18. Right. And so, well over 200 pounds is in high school. Had a huge chip on my shoulder. And so I don't remember. I hung out with a bunch of dudes. Right. I don't remember. I remember when you had some issues. Right. You had some issues with some bitches. Right?
Yes.
Like, I gotta tell people all the time, don't let these degrees fool you. I know I got a wall full of them, the sheepskin, all that, that's all fabulous.
That's the part I know. That's the part I know.
Right. The part you know is like, wait a minute, this bitch is outside. Hold up.
Right.
Hold up. You know what I'm saying? We going out. We going outside. We gonna wash these bitches. This is how it was, right? This is how it was.
And it turned out to be
I own my shit.
a friend of mine.
Huh?
Remember, the person who set me up turned out to be a friend of mine.
Yes, and listen, to this day. I
know.
I know. Like, y'all friends again.
I don't mess with her anymore.
Okay, but at some point y'all rekindled your friendship.
I forgave her. Yeah, I forgave.
Me, I'm not that forgiving. I'm not. I'm just not. I'm not gonna give you. Listen, no, fool me once. You can't fool me again. You just can't fool me again.
Yeah,
that shit. Yeah, but we go back.
We actually met in the lunchroom at the cafeteria table. Me just walking over to you.
Okay.
Like, what's up? How you doing? You was the popular one, and I'm 49, and you're like 2 years older than me, right?
Oh, no, you did not. No, you didn't just ice me up like that.
I did. So you was the popular one in your group, and I was the popular one in my group. And I just came over to you and was like, hey, what's up? How you doing? What's your name? Whatever.
It was all good because you was from the Queen side.
Yes, because in Grover Cleveland, everybody who know about the school, it was the Italian side, it was the Spanish side, it was the black side, and then it was the Italian. That's the 4 sides of Grover Cleveland High School. That's how it went.
Brooklyn Queen side to me, that's all that mattered. Right? It was Queen side.
Yeah, and then we ran them streets together for a couple of years after that.
Yes.
We met. Remember the night we met EPMD?
Okay, first of all, every one of my friends know that I have the worst memory in history, right? And as soon as they start telling, I'll be like, I was there. I was there. You sure I was there? You was there.
Yeah, you was there.
I kind of remember that. It sounds familiar.
We left a party. There was across the street from the library on Merrick Boulevard. We left a party.
Okay.
And they were there. And I guess they were leaving and we were leaving. And that's when you had that black Nissan.
Toyota. I had a Toyota Celica.
Yes, the Toyota Celica.
I had an
and
82.
We was riding side by side with them. And you was, oh my God, you was the driver. And they pulled up and we started talking to them. And it was the green eye one and the other one. It was both of them in the car. I will never forget that.
That sounds familiar.
I will never forget that night. We had a good time. You saved me a couple of times with my family too when my mother kicked me out. Remember that?
Stop. We ain't on here to talk about all that. And I love your mother, by the way.
Yes.
Out there.
Yes. All right. So look, let me take a sip because we're gonna start. You ready?
I'm ready. You're ready. I got my sipping. I've been sipping.
All right. So let's all right. So we touched that part of our lives. Let's talk. Let's start from we're talking tonight about our experience dating in our 40s and our 50s, from our 40s to our 50s.
Correct.
But I want to go back a little bit more and just to touch on a little bit so people know
Sure.
like
Your
where we
history, where you
came
coming
from.
from.
Right.
Sure.
So let's start in our 20s. And I'm going to start first because I'm only going to do a little bit.
Okay.
And everything I talk about, you've experienced because we were cool. And at that time, I reached out.
Mm-hmm.
So, age 23, I got married. When I met my ex-husband, I was already pregnant. I don't know if you remember that. And he stepped up to the plate.
Yeah, I was at the wedding.
Yes, that's right. And took care of my daughter.
I remember
And
that.
I had 2 boys, right, from this marriage. Now, we were young. Again, I say 23. So in my 20s, I was married and had 2 kids. My late 20s, at 29, 28, I had my last son. So I have 3 kids. And my marriage fell apart because my husband, my ex-husband, was a dog. No, I'm just playing. But he committed adultery. And I really didn't know about all of that stuff. This stuff is new to me. I think we're getting married, we're staying married. We're, I just didn't think. I was dumb. Right. In my 20s, I was dumb. I just thought that it was just going to be this fairy tale world. You know what I mean? I'm married, I'm kids. At 29, I bought the house. So I thought we were good. You know what I mean? I didn't imagine to be where I am today. I'll put it like that. But okay, so now you go and tell us about your 20s.
So it's a similar journey. I got married at 23 also. Wait, 25. I got married at 25. I had my son, my first son at 23. Married his dad at 25. We had another son. Now it's 32 because they're 8 years apart, my boys. Okay. They're 7 and 18 now. We got divorced. I was married for 10 years. We got divorced, and a lot of our strife, none of it had to do with infidelity, right? None of it had to do with infidelity. Our issues had to do with our definitions of love, our understanding of expectations, our not understanding the impact of childhood trauma on a present day relationship, right? Not having the tools to deal with any of that, right? So when you lack that awareness and you don't have the tools, it's a recipe for disaster. Right? It's one thing to have the awareness and lack the tools. We didn't have either of those things.
No,
we didn't have either of those things. And at the time, my ex-husband's, he wanted me to focus on our marriage. I was in law school.
Yes, I remember that.
Right? And so then my priority was, I cannot be a statistic. I grew up in the projects. I had 2 children. I've managed to graduate from college, and I'm in law school, and you are asking me to drop out. I don't know if y'all watching that show, Reasonable Doubt. It's on either Hulu, Netflix. Basically, it's the black sister. She's married, and her husband is like, you 2 involved in the law practice. You need to take a step back. So it's the same situation. He's like, why don't you take some time off from law school? Which, you take some time off from school, you ain't going back type shit. Right. And I'm like, yeah, that's not really an option for me. And he interpreted that to mean that my marriage wasn't important to me. Because I wouldn't demonstrate the importance in the way he thought was important, right? I wouldn't demonstrate it that way. Right. And so ultimately we divorced because it became such a huge issue that even once I finished school and I'm practicing and I'm doing the thing I love, there was this resentment that was always lingering in the background, like, yeah, bitch, you'll only be good at the law. That's the only thing you'll ever be good at. And that was the conversation that I'm hearing in the background, and I'm like, that doesn't sound like support. Right. right?
Right.
So, so, so we divorced.
Hmm.
He didn't want to get a divorce. And
Hmm.
that's another thing about understanding the importance of protecting your space and understanding
Hmm.
the importance of not being subjected to somebody else's process.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
understood I needed to go through a process and he needed to go through a process. And it's okay for us to do those things independently. And you don't ever need to subject yourself to someone else's process if it does violence to you.
Right.
Right? And I
Right.
don't mean physical violence
Yes.
necessarily. Sometimes it's physical. You know,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
at times it had been physical, right? But I don't
Yes.
mean physical necessarily. I mean
Hmm.
emotional, spiritual, all the violence, that makes you be other than yourself, right?
Right.
So I had to go to therapy. One of the things that, is taboo for our community because I was like,
Hmm.
damn, I'm good at every motherfucking thing. But I can't
And
get
not
this
to.
shit right. I can't get this right.
Hmm.
I felt the same way about my weight. I'm like, I'm good
Right.
at everything. Why can't I
Hmm.
get this right? Why can't I have a successful marriage? And my therapist was like, you need to redefine what success means.
Yes.
Right. And for the first time, I was like, what you mean by that? What you mean by that, Doc? Like successful to get out of something that's harmful. I was like, oh, that's bottom of the ocean deep.
But my therapy did that for me. I was married in 1997. I divorced in 2013. Do the math. Um but I also went to therapy to try to save my marriage. But then what happened was it ended up helping me more so because she gave me she made me see me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I That was the first time I got to know me
Right.
and my shit that
Mm-hmm.
was going on with me. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? 'Cause even though we didn't make it, I take full responsibility of
Mm-hmm.
my shit.
Well, your part, of course.
Yes, and that's all I can do.
Yeah.
That's all I can do.
Yes.
But that's where I got. So continue.
Yeah. So after that, I got divorced, and so since my divorce, I have dated for different purposes. Right. I've been very aware of that. After my divorce, I did not want a structured, committed relationship. Right.
Okay.
I was like,
Now we're going into our 30s.
I'm emotionally unavailable. Let me be honest with you. Right.
Mm-hmm.
I met a lot of men who didn't understand that. Right. They, well, it's over. Let's. No, I'm not going to pretend I can be in this relationship. You can't have me,
Right.
even if you can have some of me. Right. And so
Right.
I dated. I did the open relationship thing for a few years with a dude.
Oh,
I've done every iteration of relationships, and now I'm actually engaged. I'm
congratulations.
engaged. I'm engaged. I got engaged in July of this
Mm-hmm.
year, and I'm engaged to an amazing man, who I manifested. I
Right.
manifested him, and I have the specific recipe that I wrote down for him in one of
Mm-hmm.
my. So I'm one of those people that part of therapy for me is writing. I have journals all lined behind my bed, and so when
Yeah.
I'm writing, typically when you wake up, if you move too much, you're not going to remember your dreams, and so exactly I keep a book handy. I keep one, and I after my last relationship ended, which was 6 years of bullshit, like absolute fucking bullshit. But since right after that, I was like, let me be specific with the universe because I haven't been specific. I've just been like, I'm gonna take what you give me and I'm
Yeah,
gonna
but
work.
it took you a long time to get there
Yes.
because we didn't know. So now we're into our 30s. We left our 20s, we're in our 30s, and we're starting to realize that we have some shit with us too
Mm-hmm.
from our childhood, the abandonment when my father left, abandonment issues, realizing that I like kind of erased as part of my memory being molested.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? By a guy that's like 30 years old. And I'm thinking, oh, I'm 13. He wasn't supposed to be with me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm thinking, oh, he drive a Volvo and he's this and he's that. You know, I thought I was popping. No, that motherfucker was taking advantage
Absolutely.
of me at that age. And it took me through therapy to realize it.
Right.
And it messed me up.
Mm.
It messed me up. So now we're in our 30s because you're talking about your engagement,
Yes.
which I'm so happy for you.
Thank you.
And the manifestation.
Yeah.
And I did that. I saw the Oprah interview. What's her name? Viola Davis.
Okay.
And she explained that she did the very same thing. And
wow.
Yeah, she did the very same thing. But it took all of what we went through.
Oh, to get there.
With the relationships, the failed relationships, the dudes who had these issues.
Yeah.
Issues.
Yes.
That we tried to heal.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We tried to be their hero. We tried to be their everything so we can be the hero, the shero.
Right.
But it messed us up in the process.
Right. But now we understand that that was more about us. Right. Now
yes.
we understand that that's more about us than about any man. Right. Because
mm-hmm.
some of us have this thing where we think that we can love a man enough to heal him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We think that.
Yes, we really do.
We think we can love him enough to heal him, and that's just not the case.
Mm-hmm.
Or we can't accept that we ain't the one for him.
Right.
We gonna prove him wrong.
Right.
Told you he don't want a relationship. Right? That was the 30s and even some of the 40s. You like, shit, I'm about to show you I'm a good woman. You bought a nigga a car. Like, come on, bro. You know, I'm the shit out here. Let me upgrade you. Well,
you never had a woman like me.
Right. Right.
You never had a woman like me. I would show you what a good life is. I would show you what someone loyal is.
Yeah.
And what am I being loyal to?
Nothing. And then you what just happened? What happened? And it ain't had nothing to do with him.
No.
Nothing to do with him. Everything to do with you. Always.
Mm-hmm.
Always.
Yes.
Always.
Yeah.
And so in those years, I really had done a lot of processing on what is love, especially when, you know, one of the things I said, I was in an open relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so that challenged me to really think about what love is. Right.
Mm-hmm.
What's
mm-hmm.
And I've come to the understanding that love is freedom.
Yes.
That love is freedom. And that is why one of the reasons why so many of us are having trouble in our relationships. Because
mm-hmm.
we want ownership, we want restriction, we want control.
Yep. And
none of those things are manifestations of love. They are all manifestations of fear.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes, it is. And you spend most of your nights, most of your days in fear of losing this man that don't give a shit about what you feeling, what you thinking, or what you think is gonna be.
Right.
You know, and I would like you said, I was stuff getting away of that.
Right.
Because we can't see, we trying to fill the void from our young self,
right?
The little girl,
right?
You know what I mean?
Yep, yep. Yeah, that, and that's another thing that you, in this process, understand that you have to do for yourself, right?
Mm-hmm. Somebody just said, but you understand some of us men have been damaged also, but as men, we hide it and won't speak on it. So we end up fucking up a great relationship. That is so true. And when we talk about, when Ike and I are talking about our issues, yeah, we're two women sitting here, but we're speaking about the men too who have these very same issues.
Yeah.
And because you were taught to be a man, don't cry, don't show feelings, and
Right.
and all this other stuff, it's 10 times worse for you.
Right. Because
So
it's not socially acceptable for you to be emotional. It's not a safe place. It's not a safe space for you in the world as a Black woman. Right. And a lot of women don't get that. A lot, unfortunately, let me just say this. Unfortunately, a lot of women, a lot of Black women think that they have a monopoly on the pain. We don't. We don't. We have pain, but our men, our counterparts, they have they have their pain. And two things can exist. We have to think that because we're in pain, our pain must cancel out his pain, and he gotta. You don't you see me in pain?
Right.
See you in pain when he's in pain.
Right.
That we don't get that another way, another reason the relationship deteriorates.
Right.
You know? It's oftentimes that lack of communication, right? The lack of communication and the lack of the tools to communicate. People don't even know how to communicate. Like active listening is a thing. It's not just regular listening, it's active listening. Active listening means that you are listening for understanding as opposed to listening to respond. There's a difference. So when someone finishes speaking, if you are listening actively, you'll have a question.
Right. And that was an issue of mine.
Huh?
That was an issue of mine where I didn't listen. And I missed a lot.
Yeah.
And it caused a lot of confusion because I didn't listen.
Yeah. Because so often our story as Black women is that we have not been heard. Right? We haven't been heard. So we get into these relationships and we got to be heard. You heard me. You got right? And it's not soft, it's not kind, but it's a survival tactic for us. Right? We need to be heard, but we don't, we've got to understand where that comes from historically, right? And we've got to understand that our Black men are suffering from the same things. Things.
It's true. It's true. And I think a lot of women and men have childhood issues that they don't even realize is coming out in these relationships. Or you know what I mean? Like it took somebody, two people telling me the same thing in two different relationships for me to say, like, all right, wait a minute.
Right.
Wait a minute. And that's when I went back to therapy.
Okay.
Because I wanted to know why I was reacting that way, why I was behaving that way. Where does it come from, and how do I stop? You know what I mean?
Right.
And so
but
it's important to know.
Listening, right? And receive. Because how many times has someone said something to you and you rejected their perspective of you? Right? Not you per se, but just in general, right? It takes a certain level of growth and maturity to actually receive what someone is saying and actually process that shit. Like, yo, hold on, this motherfucker said, that shit kind of might be true. I ain't gonna hold you. That shit kind of true, fam.
Like he right. I do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think you have to be ready. You have to be ready to grow. You have to be ready to grow. You have to be ready to, like, you got to be tired of being sick and tired. You have to get to that point, and then you become a better person. You become better at you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. You got, first, to be better at you, you got to know you.
Yes.
You got to know you. You got to know you. You really do have to know who you are. You have to know your soul's purpose for being in this motherfucking existence. Why are you
Right.
having this experience? What are you here to learn? What are you here to give? Are you coming back? Like, what the fuck? Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm on it on that level. Seriously, like, I know I am a healer.
Right.
I know that of myself. You know? And I know that every relationship that I'm in is designed to teach me more about me.
Yes.
And I'm here to learn more about me. These relationships, you ain't supposed to be trying to learn about the other person.
Right.
They supposed to be trying to learn about themselves. This is where we get shit fucked up. You just focus on your shit. And
Right.
stop trying to focus on what's wrong with this motherfucker and trying to fix this motherfucker.
Right.
And these fucking issues, like, like, this is like some real basic shit, but people don't get that. We all fucking flawed.
Yes.
All flawed. All flawed. I tell my fiance all the time, I'm fucked up. I'm crazy. You know you know I'm crazy because I got good pussy. You know it. You know that. I told you from the gate. You already knew what it was.
You know, I started to realize that, like, I accept that I am crazy.
Yeah.
I'm crazy.
Yeah.
My mouth is terrible.
The good crazy, the passionate crazy, the alive crazy, not the I'm gonna stalk you and slash your tires crazy. Not that. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Not that. Love hard. I'm passionate about my people. I'm that crazy. I'm that person. Right? I'm frenetic. My energy is on 10. I'm wet, he's always like, he's so quiet when you're not here. I know.
Yeah.
But you gotta know who you are and stop showing up in representative form. Right? So many people do that. You show up in this representative form because you want this person to accept this representative of yourself. And then you decide you want to show up and the motherfucker's like, who are you? I really like you.
Yes.
Your authentic self out the gate. I'm incredibly flawed.
Yeah. I've learned that I can't do that. I can't do it. And if you don't like me for me, like, it's very hard for me to pretend. You know what I mean? Like, this is me. And before, I would pretend to be something that I wasn't. You know what I mean? But now I am who I am. And if you don't like it, or if you can't accept me for who I am, then that's it.
And
that is it.
I think a lot of women do, 20s and 30s, if you're looking for a relationship, you're afraid to tell the guy that you're looking for a serious, committed relationship. You don't want to tell him that because you're going to scare him off. He scare his ass off. He's not the one.
Exactly.
We didn't think of it like that then. Back then, like, I'm not going to tell him because, he said, he just wanted to see how things go. So I'm just going to go with the flow. You come on. And you expected that to change somewhere down the line, and it didn't. And it won't. And it won't, right? So to my younger sisters, be your authentic self, because the right man won't run away, right? Men know exactly what they're looking for. They may not tell you. They may not verbally tell you, but their actions will tell you, right? They will tell you. Tend to disregard what the fuck we see over what the fuck they say. Like, get the fuck out of here. Bullshit. Matching your actions and your words. You done said some shit over here and did some over shit over there. And what the fuck? And come on, why was that okay back then?
Right.
You know what I mean? That was okay back then because we were operating out of fear. Like, I want this company, I want this companionship, I want this dude to like me. So
I wanted to say
one other than myself.
Yeah, we took a lot.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm so thankful for every single, like I said, every single experience is designed to teach you something about yourself. Is designed to review.
Now I get it. But now I get it.
You can't know who you are until you know who you are not. Right? You don't know cold water unless you know hot. So you have to have those experiences so you could say, I'm not the person for this man right here. That's not one to subject myself to this definition of love, to subject myself to this definition of what a relationship is. That's not who I am, right? And once you enough of who you're not, then it starts to reveal itself into who you are. It's a process. It's a process. You know what I mean? And shit, it's a motherfucking journey, goddamn. I tell you, sometimes it wasn't no light at the end of the tunnel.
It wasn't. It wasn't. It was. I thought I was gonna die.
I know. I was like,
I thought I was gonna die.
Gotta be this.
Do you remember that year that I think you and Nadesh came to the house, and I think me and my ex-husband, he left the house. We had something.
The kids was little.
Yes.
I remember that.
Remember? And y'all had to come over to
I remember
empower me, because I didn't understand what the fuck was going on.
Remember that. Yo, wow.
I didn't understand.
Yeah.
I didn't understand. And thank God that I had you in my life to let me know it was okay for it not to be okay.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And in the midst of that, you were going through what you were going through.
Right. Yeah.
But you were able to tell me, listen, it's okay. It's all right that it's fucked up.
Right.
That your marriage is fucked up right now. It's okay.
Sometimes you just gotta sit up in that fucked upness. You just sit in it. Really just gotta sit in it. Because a lot and you know, just get through it. No, sometimes you need to sit in that shit.
Yeah, running away from it is not the answer.
The lesson, then you can move.
You have to face it. You have to sit in it.
Yes.
And you have to face it.
Yes, you absolutely.
And I know that now. I didn't know that then. I wanted to run away from it. You know what I mean? So I would go out. I would go do this and stayed out in the street till I got tired, tired. So I didn't have to come home and think about anything. And then I would get up, go to work, do that very thing. I would be exhausted.
Right.
Running away from my shit.
Right. Yeah, I'd be running through men. That's the way I got over it. Let me get underneath a motherfucker.
That's what Grandma said.
Huh?
Grandma said the way to get over one is to get under another. I want to know what the guys were told. That's what I want to know, because I know every woman knows that our grandparents, our grandmother said, to get over one, you get another one, and it helps.
Fellas on here.
I want to know who told them what? How did they get over that brokenness? How did they get over it?
Right.
Did they go get another chick? Like, what did they do? What were they told? Because we were told to go get another.
Right, while we wait for a comment or somebody to chime in, let me go check and see. I'll be right.
Yeah, we were told that. I think we were all dumb in our 20s. 30s, we started learning about ourselves and realizing that we were a little damaged. What you do, Keisha?
Okay. I'm back. You see me?
Yes.
Okay. I had to go send a text. Sorry.
My cousin said bake again.
Bake again.
She knows that great grandma said how to get over a nigga. Cause that's man, my dumb self. Let me tell you how dumb I was. After I got divorced and then I started having these relationships. Once I broke up with a guy, I would still be loyal to them. I'll be hurting, and, you know what I mean? For like 6 months to a year, I'm still being faithful to the relationship that's over.
Right.
That's what I did for a long time.
Yeah. So why did you figure out why you were doing that?
I don't know. I had a bad habit of staying in it. And I think it's more so because of what I watched my mom do.
Okay.
She tolerated and dealt with
right.
a lot.
Right.
So I did what I thought you were supposed to do.
Right, what you saw done.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's why she took so much. But somebody from JD from Corrupt Mob said, my pops says, suck it up and go get the next chick. So basically the same thing.
How's that working out for you?
Basically the same thing, to go get somebody else. And I guess that's why we hop all from one thing to the next, you know, trying to get over that other thing. But then at what point do you stop and realize that
when you
that's
get to
not the way to go?
When you get to your enough, and everyone has a different point of their enough, right? Like I said, in my 20s and 30s, I was dating for different purposes, right? And that's another thing I think that people aren't really you're just willy-nilly out here dating, just like I'm gonna meet a motherfucker. No, like set some fucking intention, right? Be purposeful in your shit. Like you just out here and you wondering why you either not meeting people or you meeting ain't shit motherfuckers. I mean, what have you done? You're not doing anything. You throw you throw a picture up on a dating site. Get the fuck out of here. Set your intentions. Understand how powerful you are in this universe. You know what I'm saying? Understand how powerful your thoughts are. Thoughts manifest. You ain't really giving no thought into what you want. Half of the women that are single, that complaining ain't no men out here, y'all don't even know what you want. You've been single so long, you wouldn't even know how to make room for a motherfucker. I know I've been there. I've been there. Yeah. Right? Like, oh shit. My ex. I'm like, oh, this motherfucker might want to draw or something. Like, I'm like, oh God. You know what I mean? And that's just that's a small thing. Are we really ready to make the accommodations for someone else's entire existence? You know what I mean? Like, they got a work schedule, they got a play schedule, they got kids, they got sick parents, they got all the shit you got. Are you really ready?
Right. Why we can't hear you?
Sorry, Monique is calling me back. You can hear me now?
Okay. Yes.
Monique is calling me.
Oh, okay. All right. Let me call her. I'm gonna call her on this line. Let me ask you this question.
That's one of
Let me ask you this question.
High school guys.
Men say that they want strong, independent women, but then when they get it, they don't know what to do with us.
Yeah, because
Can you talk about that?
It's because it sounds good. It sounds good. But here's the thing and women too, this is not men or women. Both of us, men and women, both say we want these successful people who are independent and got bank accounts and, you know, well established. These motherfuckers are busy. Can I just say that the people who have all of that shit, you know how they got all that shit? They hustle. They hustle. I'm a hustler. So that means that I might not be able to respond to your text right away. You're going to be able to handle that, or you're going to be in your bag. You know what I'm saying? A lot of that, people don't really understand what you're asking for. You want to sign up for a strong, powerful woman. She might not need you in the way you need to be needed. Right? So let me give you an example. Look at me. I don't do the jewelry shit. Like I got a Apple Watch because I run in the morning. You know, I lose shit a lot because it doesn't mean a lot to me. Like, I'm paranoid about my engagement ring. I'm like, oh God, all the time, because I'm very, very careless. I don't know if it's careless or it just doesn't stay with me. Right? It just doesn't stay with me. So when the Valentines and the birthdays and shit come around, my fiance's like, fuck, I'm gonna get this bitch because she don't like shit that other women like. I don't like that shit. I'm gonna do with that shit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So he has to navigate and do something different than what he's used to doing. Men got to be able to do that. You got to be able to realize that women are not going to need you. A woman might not need you in the way you need to be needed. Okay? There are a lot of women that are looking for broken men so they can be needed. You know, that's the fixer-upper women. You want you want to be able to complain that you had to pay his phone bill. You low-key like that bullshit.
But why?
Because you are validated. Because you have a fucking purpose. Because he needs you. That's why. That's why. Because now you validated. He needs you.
Yeah.
And you know, that goes back to whatever voids you have that now are being filled because you did for him. You took care of him. And you now expect loyalty and all of the things that go with that in return. And you don't get that shit. You don't get it. And then you wonder why you don't get it. Right? And I'm here to tell you that you should never give anything. Don't give anything that's not in your heart to give. Right? Because if love is freedom, that means that when I give, I don't expect anything in return. Right. And people, we're not loving like that. We loving like, I'm loving you and I need you to love me back. That's a bartership. That's
but isn't buying gifts and doing things have to do with abandonment issues? Like that's your...
It depends. I mean, I think it could be. I think it could be different for anyone. But it could just be that you an altruistic motherfucker that got a little extra change. Right? It don't necessarily have to correlate to abandonment issue necessarily. Okay. You know, I like nice gifts, not typically jewelry and shit. We going to Hawaii in December. I like shit. I like nice shit. But I don't think that speaks to abandonment necessarily. I'm just saying. Okay. I'm just saying.
Okay. He said, I don't know about that.
I don't know about that, Ike. He don't know about what? Love. Loving with conditions. Hell no, that's not love. Do you love your kids with conditions?
Nope.
You do not. You love them freely. You give your love and you expect nothing in return. Why do we love differently when it comes to our other relationships? Why don't we just love because it's in our heart to fucking love?
Yeah.
I'm not loving you because I expect you to love me back. That's going to set you up for disappointment because you have not managed your expectations at that point. You haven't managed your expectations. And when you don't, and you fail to manage expectations, you absolutely will be disappointed.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All the time.
Absolutely. Because you know, we think that we have to have people love us the way we have dictated, right? We've got, this is what love looks like. And when they don't fit that paradigm, when they don't love us the way we think love looks like the fucked up shit we saw, right? The fucked up relationships we are trying to mirror. If we don't do that shit, then something is wrong. When I first got married, now I grew up I told you, in South Side Jamaica, Queens. I grew up to drug addicted parents. Both of my parents were addicted to drugs. They had a very codependent relationship, right? And so even when my mom got off drugs and my dad was still on drugs, it became more of a parent-child relationship, right? Because he was addicted. And so it was, I'm going to tell you what to do every day. This is what, I took that into my next relationship, into my marriage. I'm like, yo, I told you to do da-da-da. He's like, wait a minute, hold up. You what? I'm like, so you don't talk to men like that? He like, nah, me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, wait, that's what I've seen. I'm 23, 24. What do I know? I don't know shit. I'm only going to do what I've seen done. And I thought that was how relationships worked.
Exactly. And
a lot of women still do.
I said, wait, let me find it. Can a woman love a man unconditionally? Is that what he said? Wait, hold up. Can a man love can a woman love a man unconditionally?
Yes. Absolutely. Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. Who says they can't?
I'm sure there was a woman who loved your ass unconditionally. What you do with it?
You wait. Oh, Hype said he wait at how. Okay, I see. He said he waiting on that. All right, but you waiting on it. Are you giving it though? You're waiting to receive it. Right? You know that you get what you give.
Yeah.
That's the universal law. Right? It is an exchange. So if you are ready to receive it, do you accept the principle that you can love without expectation of being loved in return? Because that's really what love is. Love is, man, listen. Yeah, her name is my mother. Right. Okay. I understand, but it's that same love principle. It's the love principle. Right. I'll get the short bus. You attract what you are, bruh.
Yeah.
I just want to say that. No disrespect.
What about the thing where we are attracted to men that remind us of our
fathers? Yes.
The men are attracted to the women who remind them of their mothers. Yeah. Let's talk on that.
Yeah. That's an old Freudian, it's an Oedipus complex type of situation where that is the first example of love to you, right? In the opposite sex. That's the first example of love, affection, attention, validation, right? All of those feelings that you first felt when you first saw your parent proud of you. Right? That you remember all of those things that you only shared with that parent, that love, that feeling. That's why that is, you're always going to look for that again. Right?
Yes.
You will always look for that, but you won't find it. You won't find it. You absolutely will not find it because I think Mike Tyson said this on Drink Champs. He said, your girlfriend loves you for her. Your mother loves you for you.
Yes.
That's the difference. That's the difference.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Your mother loves you because you're her son. She just loves you. Your girlfriend loves you because, of what you are to her, what you do for her.
What you do for her, what you
do for her, how you make her feel, which shouldn't be the situation, but that's unfortunately how a lot of relationships are structured.
Right.
Unfortunately or unfortunately, you know what I mean? But yeah, a lot of men are looking for that motherly love. I've been searching.
And they get mad at you. They will take out on you what their mom, like if their mom is trying to control them or controlling their life or whatever, the moment you try to help them with maybe something, then they turn it as you're trying to do what their mom is doing.
Of course.
So I think also a lot of women get it back. Whatever issues that they have with their mom, you get it.
Yeah. Yeah, because you need to mind your business. Right? Why are we always gotta try to fix a motherfucker? Let him deal with his issues on his own. Let him deal with it unless he comes to you. Right? Stop injecting yourself in the spaces because you think that you can help. Let him come to you. Maybe you can legitimately help. Right? But there's a difference between someone coming to you for help and you going to them with your unsolicited help. It could be the exact same help. It's going to be received differently, right? That old Cosby show with the steak dinner on a garbage can top. It could be really good, but it's in the fucking presentation, right? And so shut the fuck up, right? Until someone comes to you, because you're not the boss. You're not the head of shit. You're not the head of shit. You're not. You're just not.
What about them red flags?
Red flags. Why do we even have them? Because everyone
But it took me a long time to know what they were.
Even though we know what they are, so many people ignore them. Why? Because they think it can't be them. Right? It's no, that's not. If it was somebody else's relationship and you told them the exact same story that was happening in their relationship, they'll be like, "Oh, that's a red flag, girl. That's a red flag." Bitch, I just told you your story. Okay? Like, seriously? What? Or it's always just a red flag in retrospect. You know what I mean? Like that's fine for your 20s and maybe your early 30s when you're trying to identify and develop the awareness for a red flag, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Once you develop that awareness, then you have to quiet that voice that tries to rationalize the red flag away, right? Because you know that bitch.
Yes.
You'll be like, oh, but he cute though. But he got a good job.
Give good head.
He got a good right. You find a reason for why. You know, the fact that he was checking your phone while you was in the bathroom, why you gonna let that shit slide?
Yep. Yep.
Tell me I'm lying.
No, you're not. You're not. No, you are not. But what I noticed though, the older you get, the quicker you recognize it, and now you make moves. As
You
before,
should.
we didn't do that. Right.
Listen, I know a lot of women our age that ain't getting it, but you should get it. The older you get, you should get better at one, recognizing it and quieting that stupid ass voice that's gonna have you rationalize that shit away. Right.
Right.
Not everybody. Because did you see the article about the young chick who was mistreating and abusing her teenage kids? I think she was like our age, and she had like a 30-year-old something and whatever, and they looking for her to arrest her because them kids was wandering about the night. They was underweight, malnourished, abused. I don't know if you see that. They was going around ringing people's bells on the Ring camera. It was all over Instagram about a week ago.
Really?
Yeah. So it's a lot of women out here still doing a whole lot of fuck shit for a man. I mean, they got a whole show called For My Man.
Manipulation is a bitch.
Come on. The shit that women do under the pretext of love.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's why it's important. We need to define what the fuck love is, what it looks like, and what it don't.
Cato said one person's red flag is another's green.
Like what? Like, give me an example. What could possibly be a red flag for one person and a green flag for someone else? And we're not talking about something like, oh, you eat red meat. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about that's a what we call a nebulous or an innocuous red flag.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I can't think of anything. And I guess when I say green light, that would be legitimate, right? Because, of course, there are women that think that men who abuse them love them. Like, that's how you interpret love, right?
Right, because that's what you do, because you don't know nothing else.
Right. So in that regard, there are some women, but that, to me, that's not a green light, right? Because I don't know why I'm associating something good with green, and that ain't it.
What would it be? Let me try to think real quick. Yeah. What would a green, a red flag to one would be green to me?
Who posted that? Cato, give me an example.
Yeah.
Give me an example.
Give us an example.
What have you, in a woman that you found that it was a green light for you, but for other men, or maybe she told you something.
Right. What about, let's talk, I want to hear what you have to say about this.
What?
This new thing that I've been hearing and experienced this narcissistic stuff. I didn't know shit about it.
Oh, my husband was narcissist. Well, let me stop blowing him up like that. I've known some narcissists in my time.
Listen, I didn't even know what it was until recently. I didn't know what it was.
Right. Right.
So tell me some of your experiences. Tell me, like, I didn't even realize it. I didn't even know until after.
I mean, so when we talk about narcissism, we got to think about it in a lot of different ways, because it's there's a lot of other things that go along with being a narcissist, like things that they do, right? So a narcissist to me is a person who expects to be the center of your world, right? They are everything to you. You have to pretty much plan your life around them. And there really is no excuse for why they aren't first all of the time. And if you for some reason are unable to make them first and a priority in your life, then you for some reason you are deficient, you are inept, you are unable, you are incapable, right? They will do everything in their power to make you feel like you are less than, like you are not enough.
Right.
Because in order for them to feel like they are everything, you have to accept that role. You got to accept that marginalized role in the narcissistic person's eye, right? And so it's a very, very dangerous relationship to be in, because narcissists are incredibly manipulative, right?
Yes.
Gaslighting is one of the things that they tend to do.
Give us some examples of that.
Gaslighting is when you have an understanding of what reality is, and they tell you that your reality isn't real, right? They will deny your reality, and pretty much try to make you feel like you crazy, right? You crazy for thinking or feeling the way that you are thinking or feeling. How could you possibly feel that way? And at the end of the conversation with a narcissist, you feel like you have wronged them. You would be apologizing to them, right? Because that's how good they are at manipulating. All of those things. Yes. All of those things. Yes, all of those things. You just, one of the things I think that we are afraid sometimes of, that very real, the very real reality that some people don't deserve to be in your life. I know that's hard. I know it's hard. It's not you saying I'm better than.
Right.
You're not saying I'm better than you. Right? If you decide to excise someone, if you decide to say, you know what, you are not healthy for me, or you are a toxic person, or you are an energy vampire, whoever that person is, I don't give a fuck if it's your mother. Okay? Because sometimes it's your mother. If it ain't one thing, it's your mother. Right? But we have to be well enough. We have to be confident enough, strong enough to protect the entirety of us, our mental, our physical, and our spiritual selves. And if that means that we have to, some people can't be in our cipher, sugar, that means that they got to stay out. They got to stay out, and that's okay. We got to be okay with that. There are too many of us are people pleasers, right? Too many of us, you got to please everyone. You don't want to make anyone upset. You don't want anyone to dislike you, right? Like, fuck that shit. Fuck that. Like 40, that's when I turned 40, that's when I was like, oh, fuck that shit. Now, when I turned 50, I was like, oh, y'all fucked up now.
Yes.
I'm like, I don't give a fuck. And my grandmother passed away. She was 97 years old. I was like, y'all fucked up now. My grandmother ain't here no more. I'm about to be reckless. Right?
I'm done. I got it. Y'all really fucked up now. I got it.
See, you got it, right? You got it.
I got it. Listen, I think I was sad maybe 2 weeks. I'm done, nigga. No.
Right.
No.
Right.
Nigga, no. Yeah, they fucked up.
Listen, I
They
think
fucked up.
the older you get, the stronger your gift, what I call the gift of goodbye.
Yes.
The stronger your gift of goodbye game gets. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Say that for every time. As you get older, the stronger your goodbye game gets. You become less tolerant of bullshit. Your awareness level heightens. You're like, oh, I haven't seen this shit before. Hell no. You know what I mean? You're able to cut and run quicker.
Yes.
Right? You don't have those allegiances anymore. You don't feel like you are beholden, or you don't feel like you owe a motherfucker anything. You know what I mean? You know ain't nobody coming to rescue you. Right? You know that. You accept that at this age. And you also know ain't nobody coming to rescue nobody else. No. Right? And I damn sure not here to rescue a motherfucker. I'm not here to do that. Right? In my professional capacity, I rescue people. They paid me a lot of fucking money to do that, though. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to do that in my relationship. No. Yeah, no. I ain't trying to rescue nobody. I'm fucking exhausted. I am exhausted. Right. Like, I need you to show up complete. I'm not looking for, before I got engaged, when I was dating, I was never looking for half a person. I was never looking for somebody to complete me. Like, that shit is stupid. It's old. Get over it. If you are not finished, don't fucking show up. Don't show up until you're completed. Please. Like, we don't want you assembly required, motherfuckers. Nobody better not steal my shit. Yes. Ooh, we don't want you assembly required, motherfuckers. Somebody gonna steal my shit. 100%. 100%. I need to start coining my IQ phrases. 100%. Yes, you do. Shit. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yo, I would love so much for one of the dudes to tell us, because I know that, you know, we going about the relationships and the dudes and, you know, all this other stuff. But bring them in. Like, if there's a guy on here that wants to come on, request to join. Time is up. Request to join. We got a little bit more time. Yeah. We've only been in about an hour. I know, right? Request to join if you want to add on. But let me tell you something. You better come correct, goddamn, because I ain't playing no games. No, she's not. No games. She's definitely not. But it's a loving and safe environment. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Most certainly. It is. It absolutely is. Most certainly. Yeah. Relationships is definitely work. I know that if I got married again, which I'm not really looking forward to it, but I know that if I got married, okay, I commend you. You know, you my shiro. You know, I watch you first. I'm gonna watch how you do this. Look, somebody trying to join, but let's see. Go ahead. This is Diesel. Come on, Diesel. Come on. Come on.
Yeah.
Oh, you on?
What's good?
What's up, Jonathan? Really, human man?
That's right. Monique went off. I think she's asleep.
No, she's on her way home. She's on her way home. Now, the crazy thing about this is, I know Diesel from Corrupt Mob MC, but I also found out that he's Monique's brother. I didn't know that until some years back. No, I didn't know that was Monique's brother.
Wow.
And married one of your classmates.
Who you married?
Givens.
Who that? You need to send me a picture.
Glenda.
You know who that is, Keisha?
Glenda Givens? Givens? You gonna make us pull out the yearbook sign?
But I'm happily divorced now.
Welcome to the club, goddamn. Welcome
Fuck
to the
that.
motherfucking club.
But wait, oh look, Monique said she made it home. But what
Oh,
I was
man.
gonna say is, after all the bullshit that I went through in my marriage, and every relationship thereafter, I would be a better wife.
Okay.
Yeah,
would definitely.
I would make a better husband because at
Okay.
one point I had that anger in me,
Right.
and then I also felt that every moment you challenging me, like don't do that, because at one point I'm so used to giving orders, I'm not used to accepting it.
Mm.
And like even my sister always told me, it's the way you talk to people. Don't talk at them, talk to them.
Yep.
Right.
So it
Right.
makes a major difference.
Yeah.
It sure do, because
It does.
that's a trigger for me. That's another thing we need to talk about, triggers.
Yes.
That is a trigger for me. I was raised in an abusive home, and that yelling
Yeah.
and the tone or a
Yes.
certain something, it
Yes.
triggers me, and I go completely off. I can't take it.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
I cannot take it.
Mm.
So
So,
let's talk about triggers. Let's touch on triggers.
well, wait. Let me just, since we got a brother on here. Let's ask. So, what did you learn as a result of having the experience where you were angry and you felt challenged and it ended up in divorce? Well, what did you learn?
If it's not working out between two, go to counseling.
Okay.
Counseling could be a big thing, which we never did, which we should have did.
Okay.
Because sometimes you need that outside entity
Yeah.
to take both views. Because see, I'm seeing my view. I'm not trying to see your view,
Right.
and you're not trying to see my view.
Yeah.
So we always gonna bump heads.
Right.
We always gonna bump heads. Then, if she gives in, I feel she's a sucker. If I give in, I'm a sucker.
Mm. That's an ego thing.
Yeah. So at the point now, I learn, listen. Don't hear me. Listen.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There's a difference in that.
Oh yeah,
I
we
have
talked
an ego
about that
problem.
earlier. Yeah.
I just
Because
realized I have an ego problem.
But we talked about the listening and active listening and listening to understand, right?
yes,
As opposed to listening to respond. And I don't think a lot of people understand that there is a difference.
yeah,
Right.
major difference.
And I've had actually my fiance, so you want me to just listen to you while you speak? I was like, so you want to speak while I speak?
What about
But
the taking
Keith,
too long thing?
but
That
sometimes
you're
it's
taking
hard.
too long, you're talking too much. What about that?
You have to know
Okay,
when to shut up.
I had to get used to that because it got to a point where I would sit there and she would talk for 30 minutes and I wouldn't say anything.
Wow.
The minute I have to interject,
Mm-hmm.
one sentence and she's cutting me off. I'm like, this is some bullshit.
Wow.
This is some real
So
bullshit.
when my ex-husband was, we have to have a talk. He was one of those, and I was like, oh God, another one. Like I was 100% the man in that marriage, and what we did was I put him on a timer
Okay.
because I had
Oh,
ADHD, and I would give him 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And you can talk for 20 minutes. When that motherfucking alarm go off, you better get the fuck from in front of me, because I can't do it. I can't do it. I cannot do it. Like not again.
Keith,
Not a. But
Keith,
that,
shit,
that was
y'all gotta tell me this. Y'all have to tell me this. How is it that y'all will ask a question when the man goes to give the answer, you gonna tell him otherwise?
That's true. That's true. It's true. Because we already think what we think.
Right.
Well, for me, I already think what I think. And it's going to take a whole lot more for you to convince me of otherwise.
Okay, but then when you find out the truth, there's no apology.
I feel stupid. Listen, I apologize.
You just give that. Oh.
No. I apologize. I learned how to apologize. I apologize.
Right.
I can't speak for the person that didn't give you the apology.
Oh.
But I apologize, and I learned to do that. It's very hard. It was very hard.
Oh,
but I learned to apologize.
we needed to record that A woman that says she apologized?
Yes, I apologize.
First of all, not
Look,
only,
look at Key. Look at Key.
let me
Look
take
at
it a
Key.
step further. Let's take it a step further.
Yes.
Not only will I apologize and do I apologize,
Okay.
I think it is an act of violence to need to be right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The need to be right is an act of violence.
Yes.
Period.
Mm-hmm.
It's emotional terrorism.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? It's emotional terrorism. And if you are in a relationship with someone like that, they will drain all of the life from you. They absolutely will, because they have to be right.
Mm-hmm.
And that
Well,
means
why?
conversations never end.
Why?
This is a problem for this person, whoever that person is, who has this problem with communication, right?
Okay.
Problem with communication and understanding the give and take of communication. That's first.
Right.
All right, that's a communication flaw. Second, they don't understand that the need to be right is an act of violence.
Right.
Okay.
They don't understand that. If they did, then it would not be that important to them to be right.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know what? It's a lot of sisters out here, y'all all the way right and y'all all the way fucking single.
But you can't tell them that.
No, I can't tell them. I just did.
She just told me. She just told me.
I absolutely just did. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to be right. It's not important. It's not important. Even if you are right, it's not important to be right.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. Now, that's
ego, right? So we talk. Ego is ego. Ego is a wicked thing. If you don't recognize it is. If you don't recognize your ego voice, you might actually listen to that motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things in this whole journey, right, in knowing yourself, right, it always comes back to knowing yourself, is that you also need to discern the voices in your head. This is not schizophrenic shit.
No, your mind will play tricks on you.
This is, I was going to leave the house and it was going to rain and something said, take an umbrella. Something said, that's a voice in your fucking head. You know what? That's your higher self. That's your higher self is always going to tell you the good things. The good things, right? What you can do, encourage you. Your ego self is always going to tell you how fucked up you are and how you can never get shit done right. You can't get your act. You can't get no act right for nothing. Don't listen to the ego. So you have to learn to quiet your ego. Like I have all out battles with mine. My ego is a very male energy. I'll be like, I'm gonna need you to shut the fuck up. I got this. I can do this. Don't be
the crazy thing. The crazy thing is when you start answering yourself, right?
Oh, all the time. All the time. My son is going to he's like, "Why are you talking to yourself?" Absolutely. That's the best fucking conversations I've had today. Are you serious?
Now, the question I want to know is, you and your counterpart, y'all may have a disagreement.
Yes.
Okay. Do you go to bed angry at each other, or do y'all finish this conversation out and so it's done with?
It depends.
For me, it depends.
It depends, right? There's no hard and fast rule like all that. Never go to bed angry. Okay, that ideally, and if we lived in a utopia, that'd be great. But my goal is not whether or not I'm angry, because I can't control my emotions. I only can control what I do in response to my emotions, right? I'm angry, but I can't punch you in the face, right? I can control my actions in response to my emotions. I can do that. But what I can do is respect your process. That's what I'm going to do. Whatever your process is in working through this, right? I'm going to respect that. I'm not going to be subjected to it. Right? I'm going to sit around you while you decide that you don't want to speak to me. Right? Take your non-speaking ass somewhere else. Right? I get that. But I respect your process, right? And I need you to respect my process, and because I'm going to be responsible for my energy. right?
And how long?
You know
How
when
long
you're in a
do
bad fucking
how
mood.
long do you expect it to go on?
But it depends. It depends because, like, sometime earlier in the day, something will happen. You guys will have a disagreement,
Mm-hmm.
and it'll get hot. It'll get heated, and
Right.
then you give me my time. I'm gonna give you your time because we're not getting anywhere. So
Right,
I need a minute. That's
right,
me. I need a minute. Give me a minute. And if I feel like it was something that I did, I said, or when he shared with me how I made him feel, or what I said to, whatever, then later on that evening, maybe, or maybe the next day, I'll I'll apologize. I will explain to him, I will validate, his feelings based on what I know I did out of anger, out of disappointment, out of
Right.
whatever the situation is. But um once I'm emotionally ready, I deal with it.
Right.
You know what I
and we
mean?
put
I do.
so and I get that, right? But can we normalize apologizing?
Yes.
Because everyone
Yes.
seems to associate when you apologize that you're being sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you something. If someone dies and you say, I'm sorry for your loss, did you kill that motherfucker?
No.
You didn't kill the
No.
person, right?
No.
Sometimes I'm sorry just means that I'm empathizing with you right now, with how
Mm-hmm.
you feel, not because I caused you to feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We've got to be bigger than just, these cut and dry definitions of what things mean. Things take on so many different meanings. And we
Mm-hmm.
use them with complete fucking strangers, but we can't use them with people we say we love. You
True.
can
Right.
sorry to your coworker. You don't know this motherfucker or the person that died. You like, I'm so sorry for your loss. My deepest
Right.
condolences. And the person that you love is telling you that you hurt them. You like, no, I didn't. I don't even know how you see it like that.
Exactly.
What the fuck? You don't get to deny somebody else's reality.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you
Mm-hmm.
don't agree with it. And I hate that I agree to disagree, bull.
Because all they see is their reality.
Mm-hmm.
This is why we having these conversations. Because I said early on that nobody has a monopoly on motherfucking pain.
Nope.
Nobody has a monopoly on pain. We got pain. Women got pain. Our men have pain too. They have their own independent pain. That don't
Right.
got
Mm-hmm.
And like you said earlier, I can tell you, like we said earlier, men go through it. Men go through it. But because old school, I'm up there in age. I'll be 54. So old school, we're raised, you better not be a punk. Don't show your emotions. You better not cry. So we take on this toughness role,
right.
knowing damn real we're hurt. So
Yeah.
we hurt our significant other,
Mm-hmm.
knowing that we didn't mean it, but we don't know how to project it in another way.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So so we take it out on the
Mm-hmm.
closest person to us, and that's normally the person that we love.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Right.
then what a lot of people fail to realize is that's why you have a lot of these men out here. They either commit suicide, or they killing the woman, or they just out here just wilding out.
Right.
Or they destroying her emotionally.
Yeah, because
Correct.
depression is a mother.
Yes, it is.
Depression is a mother, and it's the mind is the strongest thing you have, but yet the weakest thing you have. Because there's a very thin line on who will snap.
Yeah.
Because how many times you look on the news, kid, you see it. You represent a lot of these motherfuckers. Okay? So at the end of the day, you on the train, you in the car, sitting there. Now you're looking like, how many of these motherfuckers is really crazy? And it'd be the least one you expected. It might be that dude that work on Wall Street. He just snapped and just killed everybody in the car.
Right. Yeah, there's no way for us as a society, one, to predict how that is going to happen, or to try to protect against it.
Mm-hmm.
In that vein, The only thing we can do is continue to have these conversations with Black men to make them understand that if you do not express it outwardly, it will eat you inwardly.
Yes.
Mhm.
That is the manifestation of heart disease, diabetes, high blood pressure. These are all, I talked about allostatic load on my page the other day, which was a term that I just learned that talks about the burdens of the stress that are carried by women. Black men have this load as well, right? This
Mhm.
stress that we carry that manifests itself in our bodies as we try to maintain the status quo, right? We're under
Mhm.
stress to just try to keep things going along as they are. Meanwhile, we're getting
Mhm.
sicker. We're getting sicker.
Yeah.
We're not getting it out. We're not
Yes.
getting it out, right? And so we've got to have these conversations, and women have to let men know it's okay for you to express yourself. Tell me how you're really feeling. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Men have to not be defensive in that regard.
Mhm.
We're not
Mhm.
trying to hurt you.
That
Right.
is true. But like I said earlier, you show feelings and all of a sudden, oh, you're a bitch.
Yeah, but you may have chosen the wrong one, because that's
Exactly.
certainly not how I see that.
Yeah, and that's not how I deal with it.
I don't see
I
that.
want to know how you feel. I want to know how I made you feel. That's the only way I learn, about the you and how you respond and react to situations.
Right. And not just me, reaction and situation to the world. Like, I don't want
Yeah.
to, if I'm dealing with you and you lose a parent, I don't know, if you feel like you can't cry, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, that's crazy.
That's true. But a
Lose
lot of guys,
Mhm.
hold it in, then they explode.
Yeah, that's not good.
That's exactly, it becomes a powder keg. And that's
Mhm.
one. That's what we don't
Yeah,
want.
that's
That's what
not
we don't
good.
want. But just quickly, you wanted to talk about before we get up off here, right?
Say that again?
Winnie,
Yeah, what you said?
you wanted to talk about triggers.
Yes.
Ah,
Woo!
about triggers, you don't know it's a trigger until you get triggered. You don't even know. Some people don't know what their triggers are
Don't
until
yell at me.
something
Don't yell
happens.
at me. Don't yell at me. Talk to me.
I
Don't
think
talk at me.
that also took a long time
Where does that
to
come?
realize.
Where does that come from, JD? Don't
What
yell.
the talk to?
Yeah, don't yell at me. Don't talk to me. Is that from your childhood?
My mother and father is from the South, the
Mm-hmm.
old South.
Yes.
So my mother was very submissive.
Mm-hmm.
My pop's the breadwinner.
Mm-hmm.
My mom worked here, but her money is her money. He took care of the bills. He took care of the household, everything.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I was raised. That's what I was brought up to see.
Right.
Now, I've seen my dad yell at my mom. Never seen my mom respond back.
Mm-hmm.
To the point where I think he pushed too much,
Mm-hmm.
and she yelled back. I was like, oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh, that's real different.
Mm.
So you talk to me, don't talk at me. I'm not your child.
Mm-hmm.
We're in this relationship. We equals.
So do you
You
raise
don't, huh?
do you raise your voice? Do
If
you
I'm talk, if you don't allow me to speak, yeah, I will raise my voice. I will raise my voice.
keep it a
I
buck?
will raise my
sure.
voice. But I'm that person that'll sit there and I'm listening to everything you're saying. Everything you're saying. And
Why I feel like you're not telling the truth? As soon
no,
as she raised her voice,
no. As soon as you start lifting your voice more and more, and I'm telling you, yo, calm down. I'm listening. And oh, you hear me talking? Okay, I'm gonna let that slide maybe twice. Now, pardon the pun, I'm gonna be a nigga now.
Mm.
Okay? Now I'm gonna raise my voice. Now you ain't gonna like it. Now all of a sudden, you don't like it. Why is that? I'm doing what you're doing.
So let me
So
just
when
drop. Let me drop some
so when
rules.
I pull a you on you, don't get mad.
Let me interrupt you. Stop you, right? Because it's a couple people in here. I want this to be said.
Monique said, "Don't let me answer that question."
Right.
Take your ass to sleep.
So
His
you know,
sister just said that. But go ahead, Key. Go ahead.
I grew up in 5% Nation, right? Nation of Gods and Earth. Peace to the Nation of Gods and Earth. And one of the things that, hold on.
Mm-hmm. My name was Love Shot Queen.
Oh shit. You stupid.
Don't let me break down the meaning of my name.
What the hell? I forgot my God. God damn it. Oh,
What?
I forgot my point.
What was he saying? What was he? Oh, we was talking about the triggers. I think you was talking about the triggers.
So he was talking about yelling. And,
Yeah. Raising your voice.
Mm-hmm.
Talk
I
to me.
forgot.
Not at me.
It might come back to me later. I forgot. I was gonna say something about the degrees, but I completely spaced it. It'll come back to me, maybe, or maybe
Okay.
not. We'll see. What
So there's degrees to it?
back to me.
Let's talk about insecurities, Keisha.
Okay.
Let's talk about our insecurities and
Oh,
some
God.
people not knowing what their insecurities are.
Everybody has the same insecurities. We all look at the same thing: love and safety.
Right.
Some places feel validated, and that's it. Everybody's looking for the same fucking thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not like rocket science tree where it's like, oh, what is the secret? No, everybody's looking for the same thing.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it.
And you question yourself, am I enough for you?
But so that goes way back to when you was a child, all of us, right? All of us suffer from the I am not enough. And that is a product of our childhood. That's a product of our upbringing. Think about this. Who has not brought home a 90 on the test? He was a kid. And what the fuck did your parents say? 90, that's good. What happened to the 100? Or you could have did better, right? Nobody understood then what that fucking did was internalize that you ain't good enough.
Well, unfortunately, I had the smart aleck little sister Monique who always bringing home damn hundreds, and I'm in the 80s.
I got you. Listen, I was
you damn Grover Cleveland girls.
Oh, got it too, right? Because you didn't always get 100. Even if you got a 99, even if you got 99, it was you couldn't get that 100, huh?
Couldn't get that 100.
I want to see 100 next time. Well, I'll give you $1. You get 100 next time, and internalize it. We're like, okay, but what the message was, you're not good enough.
Mm-hmm.
You're not good enough. And what did you do then? You worked harder. You tried to get you, and every time you was just a little short. It just reinforced how good you weren't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We didn't think how harmful that could be then, and how that would follow us and shape us.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a cultural thing. Every fucking parent does that. Black, white, Asian, they all do it. You come in with an 85. Come in with a 90.
I'm guilty. As a parent, I did that. I'm guilty.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
I'm guilty.
Understanding what the undertones that are communicated in that conversation are. Right?
Mm-hmm.
All that. We all have insecurities. When I was a kid, I had high self-worth, but I had low self-esteem.
Mm-hmm.
People don't even understand the difference in that. I had a lot of high self-worth because I was smart. I got good grades. I was, I had a very high grade point average. I was valuable in that regard, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was something tangible.
Mm-hmm.
But I was overweight. I had a jerry curl, and so I didn't feel like I was pretty or attractive or any of those things. So I had low self-esteem, right? Imagine around. I'm like the fucking valedictorian, salutatorian in 6th grade. I'm smart, but I'm like, I'm like the big girl, and I didn't like that. I was uncomfortable. I was
Right.
a lot, which made me defensive, which made me angry. It made me, you saw me in high school, fight at the drop of a hat.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like, oh, hold up. What she said, what? Period. I'm getting the pass. I'll be in the lunchroom. That was me. Like, it was not me, man. It was, I took that shit to college. I took college. I went away to college, went to Bennett College, still had high self-worth, low self-esteem. I tested out of all the freshman shit. I had sophomore classes. I'm tutoring sophomores. But I'm still angry. I'm still a big girl. And now y'all done put me in the South. I grew up 5%. I can't eat pork. Put me in fucking North Carolina. Like I grew up reading motherfucking labels, like the Hostess labels. You had to read and make sure they ain't had no animal shortening. You sent me to the South. It's pork and everything. I must have lost about 50 pounds that semester. I'm living off ramen and Sprite. But so those insecurities, you know, they come from somewhere. You know, you have to identify that and accept and be okay with it. Be okay, peace with it. You know, make it. What I did, okay, I am good at things. So I started working out, started bodybuilding. I started competing, right? And that changed that. That's low self-esteem. I was like, oh, I can make my look like that. And I did. Without none of that, right? And then I was like, okay, now my self-esteem is better. I'm feeling a little better about that, right? And support that up to match the self-worth. But those insecurities will manifest themselves in your relationship because for me, when I'm married, my ex-husband was fucking gorgeous. When I say drop dead gorgeous, back then it was light skin was in. He had green eyes, tall, slim. Woo! Babies.
You was Al B. Shore in it, huh?
All day. I was like, oh, you pretty motherfucker. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
But wait, he remind me of your father.
And of course you marry your father. Absolutely. My dad, very fair skin, tall, thing, you know, very good looking. Same difference. But he was the one man who was very, very desperately trying to love me. When I was like, how could you love me? You see how fat I am? Right? And that's something that we tend to do because we don't love ourselves. Right? We don't love you. You can't receive love from nobody else. I couldn't understand his love. So I didn't believe it. I'm looking in the mirror and I'm liking what I'm seeing. I don't understand how you like what you see. You must try it. Right? That's that young shit, those insecurities on those things are sorry, my battery time. But yeah, so
what do you say? I think with the introduction of social media and technology, it becomes a generation of instant validation. There's why people sit and watch every like, every comment, that validation they need.
Yeah. And
I think it's very sick. I think it's very sick for people to get on social media and post themselves for the attention. Like something is wrong with you. You do all of that. Like you're screaming.
No. You gotta understand. They come from a different generation than us.
That too.
They grew up with this shit.
Yeah. They grew up with the social media.
But they know this is let's go outside and hang out. Right? For us, remember, it was like, oh shit, you a flat lever. Right? Remember that left me, you going away, that other crew, that's flat, you a flat lever. That's like, you didn't like my post. That's the equivalent to that. Like, yo, you see me, you didn't like my post? Why you ain't like my post? I saw you commented, but you ain't like it. That's dumb shit. Right? To us, it's dumb. To them, it's everything. And we, at this generation, we've got to stop denying their reality because it doesn't make sense to us. Gotta stop telling them that because it's not. It's not stupid for them. There are kids that are committing suicide over shit that is happening on social media. That is
True.
they're not getting validation anywhere else. That's why those fucking hearts mean everything. That's why so much. Because
Look what happens. Look what happens when Facebook and Instagram shut down.
Freshman college, right? And these are the things like we talk about. Ask them about what they're paying attention to in the world. They're not.
No,
They're not.
they don't know.
And these are the ones in college. I'm not talking about the ones that are not in college or in school or something like that. So we as this generation, we've got to understand that this is their reality. We need to not deny their reality and just let them understand that they can get validation someplace other than social media.
But that's all they know. That's all they know.
But that's up to us to teach them something different.
Yeah,
right?
because you see their response when Facebook or Instagram gets shut down. They like,
Tell
oh,
me about it. They lose their damn minds.
If I took my kid's phone, they died.
Oh yeah.
My daughter died once.
Yes.
I took her phone.
the crazy thing is, we used to go outside and create games. We used to go outside and create games. We used to go to the park.
Our punishment was when our parents didn't let us go outside.
Right.
Or they made us come inside.
Right.
Now these kids be like, I'll stay inside.
Right.
We used to walk to the park.
Punishment. Now it's a whole different thing.
We used to walk to the park. Now they say driving to the park.
And you better be ready to fight your kid. Take their phone. You better be ready to fight.
Yeah.
Because they're going to fight you over that phone.
I've actually had cases where children, teenagers have had fights with their parents. And when the police come and arrest the parent, they then issue an order of protection. And guess what? You as the parent, you can go back to your house. You got to go stay somewhere else till the case is over. Yes. So that's a whole nother show. We're going to have a whole nother show for that. But this was good. I think we wrapping up. We should be wrapping up because my phone dying. We about to hit the...
Yo, Keith.
Wow, we almost did 2 hours.
Yeah.
I know you leaving and all, but I'm gonna tell everybody commit a crime and ask for Keisha.
No, please don't. Don't.
But Keisha, didn't you retire? You retired?
I'm semi-retired. I'm
semi-retired. Okay, yeah. She helped my son. She helped my son.
I'm working for the lawyers right now. That's what I'm doing.
Hey, didn't you did a case for Foxy Brown?
Yes, I did represent Foxy Brown back in the day. Back in the day, I've represented a lot of people. I've saved a lot of lives. I talk about careers and the difference between being successful and significant. I know that I've been in this experience, and if I never saved another life, I've done enough.
Yes, you have.
Because you made me cry on a post you had. Matter of fact, you was alive, and you just came out the courtroom.
Yeah.
I remember that. Remember that.
You fucked me up. You fucked me up with that one.
I was fucked.
The shit you was saying, I was like, that is so fucked up that they could do that.
Yeah. It's hard at that static verdict. Again.
Yeah, that's and like you say, Keith, all you young black kids, y'all better realize this ain't built for you.
Yeah, no.
No. But listen,
Jails
now you go into a whole other thing, and people are not familiar with her expertise.
Part of right.
Yeah. So now they probably looking like what? But I want all my followers, everybody who's on, who don't know Ikee, but you got to know her a little bit tonight. Follow her. Ikee Speaks on Instagram. And just go through a lot of the things that she shared in her career. And it can help you or somebody else. So do that. Follow her. And then you have something that you're coming out with next year, right?
I have a book available on Amazon right now called Black Girl Slim. I always gotta promote that. I don't promote that book enough. It's about Black women in our battle for our health and our weight. We are eating in diabetes, heart disease, obesity. 4 out of 5 Black women are overweight and or obese, and that's a problem. Right? That's a problem. And I'm not going all what's his name that died? Kevin Samuels on you with the everybody needs to be a size 4, but everyone does need to be healthy. You do need to be healthy, and so grab that up. I am working on it's going to be a weekly show. I can't do daily. I really wanted to do daily, but I don't think I'm gonna be able to do that. Launching a weekly show in January on my YouTube channel. Feel free to come subscribe over to my YouTube channel. It's Ike Speaks. AIE Speaks. In January, I'll be launching a weekly show. We'll be covering everything: like relationships, the law, spirituality, spiritualist. I'll be talking about different things in the spiritual realm. I'll be talking about the dead people I talk to. We'll be doing all that shit.
I see dead people.
All that shit. All that.
Yeah. Look, that's another night. Yes.
Yeah, we'll do that another night.
But we got to do this again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, please do. Please do.
Yes. Yes, we got to do this again, definitely. And if you think of something before your show come out, let me know. And whatever I can do. Huh?
The biking event next week.
Oh, yes, that's right. I have November 12th, I have a woman empowerment ride. They're doing it. College Mom Biker Chick is doing it in California. I'm doing it in New York. And Aikisha is going to come. Ike Speaks is going to come and empower the women. Yes. November 12th at Miller's L, 1 p.m. in Belmore. All are welcome. It's going to rain, so I don't think we can ride. I pray that the weather change. But if it don't, we're just going to meet up, come together, and have Aikisha speak with us. And then we'll do some fellowship, loving, hugging, kissing, and exchanging stories. And we're going to do that yearly. And hopefully over the years to come, we will spread out through the states.
Awesome.
So everybody
post that up so I can repost it.
Looking forward to that.
Okay.
Yes. November 13th, I'm going to be at Jamaica Performing Arts.
Okay.
For the One Unity World Fest. So come out and support that One Unity World Fest. Black culture, Black unity. There's going to be panels and talks and demonstrations, things of that nature.
If you have a flyer, send that to me. Let me post it for you.
Yeah,
you have information, a flyer or something?
Yeah, they didn't send me the flyer yet.
Okay, so send that to me. I'll get that up for you. But all right, it was a pleasure. Thank you so much for taking time.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us.
I love y'all.
I appreciate your bravery, and because it's not fair, we should have had somebody who didn't know her. You know her. Right. We all got history. We all got history, but thank you for joining. Appreciate it.
Guys, you.
I love y'all. I love y'all. I love you.
All right.
Y'all have a good night.
You too.
Alrighty.